Thank you. Good evening, and welcome to this program today for the launch of Amrit Mahotsav App Innovation Challenge 2021 and release of e-Booklet on 7 years achievements of MeitY. We are honored this evening to have amongst us our Minister of State, Electronics and IT, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar ji, who has been a moving force, who has been guiding us for the launch of this App Innovation Challenge in order to give support, in order to give a platform to all the tech entrepreneurs and startup evangelists for developing apps that can help India occupy a space in this very, very competitive field globally. As we all know, India has been a major user of apps. India ranks amongst one of the top 5 countries when it comes to downloading of apps. So we are very prolific users of apps. But when it comes to uploading of apps, we are not there in the top 20 countries. So the aspiration of India is that how do we leverage the skill set that exists within India? How do we leverage the strength that the IT workforce that we have in India to go ahead and occupy our rightful place in developing of apps, in providing services, and not only become a leader within India, but global leaders. So last year, with the same intention, we had launched the App Innovation Challenge 2020 as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign. And sir, we got a very good response. And this year, we have been planning to do it. And under your directions for the Amrit Mahotsav edition, for the Amrit Mahotsav, for the celebration of 75 years of India's independence, it has been decided to upscale the whole challenge. It's more than this year, we have 16 categories in which the Amrit Mahotsav Challenge competition will be organized, and we will be encouraging more and more startup entrepreneurs in this contest. I also welcome amongst us our Additional Secretary, Shri Rajendra Kumar ji, who has been supporting us in all our e-governance initiatives. I also welcome the winners of the startup of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Innovation Challenge 2020. Some of the winners are here, sir, amongst us today, from MapMy India, from StepSetGo, from Zoho, from Chingari, from Ku, and from Kutuki. So all these various categories, the winners have joined us today. And after the launch, we'll have an interaction with them to reflect, to get feedback from them with regard to how this challenge has helped them and how this challenge can be made better and bigger in this year. With these comments, I invite our Additional Secretary, Dr. Rajendra Kumar, for his address on this occasion.
Thank you, and very good afternoon to everyone. Honorable MOS, Electronics and IT, my colleague from NEGD, Abhishek, all my colleagues from MeitY, all the participants here. It's a great pleasure for me to attend this function today. We are celebrating the 75 years of independence, as we're all aware, and also the 7th year of the flagship Digital India program, which has really led to this entire transformation through digital interventions in the last 6 years across all the domains of governance and almost all sectors of the economy. A couple of years before, MeitY unveiled the $1 trillion digital economy vision, which really has helped the department to focus its efforts on how digital interventions can transform the different domains of governance and all the sectors of the economy. It is in this vision that we are all now focusing our efforts upon. The Atmanirbhar App Challenge that was launched last year, that really brought out the talent from different parts of the country. And they were able to showcase their abilities and how they can really work in this high technology domain. This year alone, we already have 22 new unicorns in India. And the total, if you take the earlier unicorns, the number would be close to 60 now. So we are just behind US and China. And the target before us should be to really compete with the best in the world and overcome even the nations ahead of us. And that's the challenge that we have all set ourselves in MeitY. We wish to really grow the IT ecosystem in India. We wish that our innovation ecosystem that grows even further, and we can be counted among the world's best. In emerging technology domain also, we have made a lot of efforts to ensure that we can improve our research and development capabilities. We can improve our implementation capabilities. And in this endeavor, we seek the collaboration from all stakeholders, including our industry, including all the government departments in Government of India, all the states, and of course, in this endeavor, our youth, which is extremely talented, they have to play a key role. And events of this type, which today we are launching, the App Innovation Challenge for this year, they would go a long way in really enthusing our youth to even take up bigger challenges in this emerging technologies and ensure that India can be counted amongst the world's best when it comes to developing advanced research capabilities or developing applications and deploying them. So I wish all the very best for this challenge, its subsequent conduct, and also all the very best to all the participants who would like to take part in this challenge. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for your kind words, and I'm sure with together, sir, we'll be able to ensure that we will be able to identify more startups who turn on to become unicorns, and the revolution that has started in India will continue in the days to come. Now, sir, we will have the launch of the e-book video on the 7 years achievements of MeitY by our Honorable MOS. We request you to press the key and launch the video. Thank you. The complete ebook will be available for download on our websites of MeitY and NEGD and Digital India. Now we would request our Honorable Minister State Electronics and IT to press the button for launch of the Amrit Mahotsav App Innovation Challenge and the video for the challenge.
हम आजाद भारत के इस ऐतिहासिक कालखंड के साक्षी बन रहे हैं। आज आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव का प्रारंभ हो रहा है। अमृत महोत्सव
In tune with the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji's clarion call to celebrate Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is privileged to launch the Amrit Mahotsav App Innovation Challenge 2021. The challenge seeks to identify the best Indian apps which have the potential to scale and become world-class apps in their respective categories. It is estimated that more than 500 million users use smartphones in India, and more than 3/4 of them are online. Indians are also amongst the top downloaders of apps in the world. This massive market holds a plethora of opportunities for Indian innovators and tech gurus. Under the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, it is the aim of government to make Indians one of the major uploaders of apps apart from downloaders. Over the past few years, many new apps have entered and started dominating the market in various fields, whether it be social media, messaging, marketing, transport, food, etc. The Amrit Mahotsav App Innovation Challenge 2021 includes the following 16 categories, with a total of Rs 50 lakh prize money in each category: culture and heritage, health, education, social media, emerge tech, skills, news, games, entertainment, office, fitness and nutrition, agriculture, business and retail, fintech, navigation, and others. The mantra is to make in India for India and for the world. Before the Honorable Minister launches this year's edition of the Amrit Mahotsav App Innovation Challenge 2021, let us take a quick look at some of the winners from last year's 24 winning apps and 20 promising apps. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Amrit Mahotsav App Innovation Challenge 2021.
Thank you, sir. Now we request our Honorable Minister of State for Electronics and IT Skill Development Entrepreneurship for his address on the occasion.
Mr. Rajendra Kumar, Abhishek, and all of the winners from last year and the prospective winners from this year and contestants from this year and others who are watching, good afternoon. It is interesting, and it is indeed, in a sense, very, very appropriate that we are celebrating the Amrit Mahotsav App Challenge, which is the second edition of the App Innovation Challenge. And we are doing this at a time when the country is celebrating 75 years of independence. It is also celebrating 7 years of transformation that MeitY has brought to people's lives over the last 7 years. And it is also at a time when our Honorable Prime Minister on the 15th of August has urged us to look forward to the next 25 years. So in a very interesting way, the fact that we are talking apps, we are talking innovation, we are talking technology at a time when these 3 or 4 milestones in our history are all intersecting is, I consider it very appropriate. One of the things that we always look back when we look at Independence Day is look back and see how far we've come as a nation. And as we celebrate the 75th year, I think it's interesting and it's very appropriate that we look back at how far we've come, not just in the last 75 years, but in the last 7 years when the power of technology was really unleashed in our country. And as someone who has spent some years in technology, a little bit more than most of the youngsters around the screen today, I can tell you that I see this at this point in time, no greater, better time for a young innovator or a young entrepreneur to be in technology, to be experimenting, innovating, trying new ideas in technology. In 2014, the Honorable Prime Minister of Narendra Modi ji said in very simple terms, he said Digital India and the power of technology that he wanted to harness had to meet broadly 3 or 4 broad tests. One was, of course, it had to transform people's lives. And the technology being embedded in government, the main reasoning for it, or the main outcome that was sought from it, is to transform people's lives. And over the last 7 years, the government and technology both have demonstrated that it can transform lives for the better. The second is about the innovation economy in itself, which is to expand the digital economy, grow the digital economy. And an important part of that is, the traditional businesses, software services, ER&D, et cetera. The important piece of that was the internet piece, whether it's e-commerce or apps that allow consumers to access the internet and services and products on the internet. And the third one was about technology leadership in strategic areas. Now, I think in all 3 departments in the last 7 years, India has progressed significantly. One of the interesting opportunities that I think, and I think both Mr. Abhishek and Dr. Rajendra Kumar alluded to this, is the fact that the app economy today is galloping at a rate that is much faster than most other aspects of the digital economy. So while the traditional software and the ER&D and the SaaS and all of those businesses are growing, and they will grow faster now with the digitalization of the world post-COVID. But clearly, the app economy today represents value of over 200 billion, approximately, give or take a few billion. And that is an area that India has, in a sense, lagged. And I think the 2 years of app innovation challenges are not just about playing catch up with that aspect of the digital economy, but also to create a huge momentum and a sense of confidence that if there are other countries and entrepreneurs around the world who can do it, we can do it too. So I think this is a very important part of the overall digital economy. There is a tendency to look at app innovation challenges as a challenge of ideas. And yes, it is. It is a challenge of ideas. It is also a challenge and a competition of innovation. But it is also getting a piece of one of the largest digital economies in the world. And given the fact that India is going to be one of the largest connected markets in the world in the next couple of years, if you are an innovator anywhere in the world, this is the best place to be in. But even if you undershoot and underperform in terms of the audience that you reach, you are still talking about millions of people. So for an app innovator today, India is the place to be. MeitY recognizes that. This is something that we are squarely behind. And as the Honorable Prime Minister said on August 15th, and I just want to quote, in this decade, we need to relentlessly work towards making India startups and the startup ecosystem the best in the world. Now, you've heard of the word perfect storm, and you've heard the phrase being used in negative connotation. I actually consider this to be the perfect storm in the positive connotation. There is a prime minister and a government that is absolutely rock solid behind entrepreneurship as a concept, behind startups in particular. The ecosystem of our digital economy is today growing leaps and bounds. And post-COVID, the digitalization of the world, digitalization of India, throws up the third aspect of the opportunity. So I will not speak any longer or any further, except to say, I wish all of you the very best, those who are going out there taking the plunge and competing in the second round of the App Innovation Challenge. I congratulate those who've done extremely well in the last year's App Innovation Challenge, and I wish you more success. And at the end of the day, I want this message to go out that this is more than just an App Innovation Challenge. This is a whole movement towards gaining a huge presence, a significant presence in what is clearly a big part of the digital economy, which is the app component of the digital economy. So thank you, all the best. Jai Hind.
Thanks a lot, sir, for your words and guidance with regard to this whole thing. And under your guidance and leadership, sir, we will surely try our best to ensure that we'll be able to achieve the objectives of the government and of Honorable Prime Minister. So now we come to the next part of the event, which is the interaction with some of the winners of the Atmanirbhar App Innovation Challenge 2020. So last year we had around the same time we had launched this campaign for the Atmanirbhar app. We had 8 categories. We chose 24 winners and 20 promising apps. So to that extent, this year's event is going to be double of that. We are looking for 48 winners across 16 categories. From the 24 winners, we have a few of them here today. We have Bharat, Raghunath, and Sneha Kalyan Sundaram, who built a Kutuki Kids learning app, which was very popular. And I believe they went ahead and they got some funding and they have gone ahead on their journey. They will be sharing that. We have Kirti Singh from Hit Wicket Superstars, who made a gaming app especially with the cricket as the focus. And we've been hearing about her app also. So maybe she can share her journey with regard to how we move forward. We have Shivjit Ghadge with the Step Set Go app, which was in the category of health. It was a winner. So he will be sharing his insights. We have Sumit Ghosh and Aditya Kothari, Chingari. We've been hearing a lot about that. In fact, MyGov is also onboarded on Chingari, and we get good engagement on Chingari for all our activities. So we'll look forward to hearing from Sumit and Aditya. Then we have Apramaya Radhakrishna from KU. KU has been the talk of the town, literally, and Government of India and various government departments have onboarded on them, and we have been following their journey and their scaling up efforts very closely. We have Rohan Verma from MeitY India, who has been a very valued partner in almost all our endeavors. We are working with them on the CoWIN app. We are working with them on Umang and with several other initiatives. So Rohan and I believe his dad, who is the founder of the app, also he is also here. So we welcome both of you to this interaction. Then we have Sridhar Vembu ji also joining from Zoho, when Zoho Workplace and Zoho Click was a winner in the office category. And Zoho also has been a valued partner in many of our initiatives in the last year or so. So we start this interaction, sir. We'll go one by one. So Kutuki kids, Bharat, Raghunath and Sneha Kalyan Sundaram.
Yes, sir. Great to be here. Thank you for having us.
So you can share some insights, and then it can be free sharing of your thoughts, so that the feedback that we get can help us in this round of campaign better, as well as we have this opportunity to be speaking to our Honorable Minister right directly. And if you have any suggestions or any questions, that can also be done. And we look forward to such guidance.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So if I were to just put it in a nutshell, right, the same time last year, I think, was a huge inflection point in our journey. One was obviously being part of the winners gave us a lot of visibility, gave us access to a set of users across the country, which we hadn't got before. The Prime Minister also spoke about us in last August Mann Ki Baat, and we were primarily in the large 4 or 5 cities, and from last August onwards to where we are today, more than 60% of our users come from outside the top 6 cities today. It's been phenomenal to see how much of an impact we've been able to create, in terms of foundational literacy and numeracy in so many different geographies. Apart from, just the whole challenge itself, like Dr. Singh mentioned, it propelled us to do so many more things. It propelled us to secure a round of funding. But there are also certain things that, are very dear to us. Through the App Innovation Challenge, we got connected to the CSE team. And today we are enabling foundational literacy and numeracy in so many different centers. Our app is sold by VLEs across the country. We are working with CSE Bal Vidyalayas as well. And it's still day one for us. I think we're still scratching the surface. It's such a massive opportunity. India has the largest population of preschoolers in the world. And I think the national education policy, the way everything is coming together for early learning, we're very, very positive about how the whole ecosystem is going to evolve, and particularly how much of a role that Kutuki can play in enabling so many children to have foundational literacy and numeracy.
Nice. How long have you been doing this, Bharat?
Yeah, we launched the app in 2019. So for about a year and a half, building out our content base, our curriculum base, and a lot of that progress has got really accelerated. One of the key elements for us, I think, which we learned also by having access to such a wide audience, is it's so important to have all the major Indian languages represented, right? So when you're talking about imparting foundational concepts, there's no reason why a child can't learn the basic concepts of math and science in their own mother tongue. English learning continues to remain aspirational, but so much of our content consumption today happens in the 7 languages that we have, and we hope to expand that to about 15 languages in the coming year. So that is something that we foundationally believe in, making early learning accessible to every child in India. That's really the fundamental mission for us.
I'll just give you just an anecdotal experience. I've just come back from a 1,000-kilometer road trip over 6 districts in Karnataka. Mm-hmm. And it was a revelation for me, because it's the first time I'm doing this post-COVID. The number of people who actually now are demanding internet and better internet connectivity, because it is almost now, what was 10 years ago, water, roads, and those kind of things. In the post-COVID world, the demand to get wired up and connected to the internet, and therefore experience from the safety of the house or safety of the village or the safety of the community where you live in, education, occupation, jobs. It's dramatic, and you would think that this is a very sophisticated need, and it would be in Bengaluru, Mumbai, Pune, Chennai, Gurugram, Delhi. But this is in Sirsi, it is in Shimoga, it is in Hubli, it is in all of these places that I visited. So I actually think that we are on the cusp of something really big, because if we get the other 450 million Indians wired up and connected, as the Prime Minister is driving with the BharatNet program, which has now a private component to it as well. If you have 1.2 billion Indians in the next 3-4 years online, I think you will be very busy. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, yeah.
It's a good problem to have, by the way, huh?
It's a brilliant problem to have, and I think just making that access, making that available to all parts of the country, I think it's something that we are seeing transforming before our eyes, and we know that it's only going to accelerate a lot more.
I mean, for parents across India to have access to a really high quality preschool on an app, I mean, when you think about that and the scale, it's just such a massive opportunity, and we're so
Yes.
proud to be in the thick of it.
Yeah. So I think I would request you to just stay focused on it. I think your mission's a good one. I think you're at the inflection point of something pretty big, and good luck.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir.
And Bharat and Sneha, thank you for the interaction. And I believe so their USP was that their app was for children, and they had decided last year that they would not have any advertisements on that. They had a subscription model only. So do you continue with that?
That will never change, sir.
Good, that's good.
Premise for us was that we want this to be a safe experience for kids. Something that, parents don't have to worry about the quality of the content. They don't have to worry about where their children are going. Once they're on the Kutuki app, parents know that their children are learning, and they're learning in a safe environment. And most importantly, they're learning with examples and settings that they know. Everything is very rooted in India, in Bharat, right? In all of the different languages. So whether it's the stories and songs that we write, we might be looking at teaching, English, or teaching math, or teaching science, but all of them have Indian characters. They have Indian context. They have Indian families and Indian values. And that's really the USP of how we're building this. That will change.
Super. Thank you. Thank you. That's very nice. So next we have Kirti Singh from Hit Wicket Superstars, who came up with a very innovative cricket solution, cricket gaming app. Kirti Singh.
Hello, sir. So I'm here with my co-founder, Kashyap. So both of us started Hit Wicket, and we've always believed in world-class content that can come from India, not just for India, but world over, cricket fans. And that is how we launched Hit Wicket Superstars, which was our app. And I think the last 1 year was phenomenal for us, because we grew by 400% just on the in-app purchase revenue. And we believed that, if the content is very engaging, then not just people from India, but even Australia, UK, all international countries would spend.
Right. So you were mentioning about unicorns. I think India is probably the largest economy in the world without a gaming unicorn, right? There are more than 40 gaming companies across the world which are valued more than $1 billion, many of them publicly listed. But if you look at the Indian market, it's worth billions of dollars in revenue in terms of gaming, but hardly anything is made by the Indian developers themselves. Most of the consumer spend actually goes to foreign developers. It's probably the only B2C sector where most of the consumption, most of the purchases happen going into foreign developers, right? And that's why it's a cutting edge sort of a technology when it comes to gaming. And our vision was, if you make content which is truly personalized, truly connects, has an emotional connect with the users, I think it can be something massive, absolutely massive. We've always believed that India is an entertainment hungry market. If you look at our movie industry, cricket, it tells you how much of potential there actually is. Now, if you add technology to the mix, I think it will completely blow the lid of what gaming can be, not just in India, world over. India can easily become the largest gaming market in the world with the sheer potential that is out there. And that's the vision we had. We didn't want to be a gaming studio making multiple games. We are like, make one thing, be the best in the world at one thing. And that's the vision we've been going across. And recently we tied up with a global publisher who signed our rights to market our game across 100 countries across the globe, where they said, not just for cricket, we've not seen a game like yours for any sport in the world. And in the next 3 years, we'll probably hit 100 million users from across the globe. So yeah, I was mentioning that how India is probably the largest economy in the world without a gaming unicorn. There are more than 40 gaming unicorns, more than $1 billion, even $10 billion, not one from India in pure gaming per se. And India is again now one of the largest gaming markets in the world. Everybody is looking at India as the next biggest thing, right? And even right now, you say it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, but gaming is probably the only industry, B2C industry, where the consumer spend goes outside the country. Right? All the top grossing games in India are made by international developers. And building the entire ecosystem, building a game that is truly world-class, because the consumer doesn't really care where the game is made, they want world-class. They've seen the best in the world, they expect you to be the best in the world. And building a game of that quality is an immense challenge. And that's what we are aspiring to do, where our product is the best in the world. Like instead of making multiple games, make one game, make it the best in the world. And we believe cricket is the way to truly unlock the potential of the market, which has never even been seen before. And recently we tied up with the one of the top global gaming publishers, who have said that we've not just seen a game like this for cricket, we've not seen a game like yours for any sport in the world. And they tied up with us and they said that we'll be marketing your game across 100 countries and we'll reach 100 million users in the next 3 years. So that's the trajectory we are on. And I think last year's challenge was an immense source of confidence for us in taking this plunge.
No, I completely agree with you. I think gaming is an area that is in some sense we've not been there as intense as we've been in other areas. And I think you picked the right. I mean, I speak as in my civilian avatar. I used to be an investor, and I think this fact that you pick cricket is interesting. At least make sure that you make sure that all of the big American gaming giants and all of these people don't come at it because they don't have that sport, the domain knowledge of the sport. So great, all the best.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kashyap. Thank you for your insights into this. Next, we have Shivjit Ghadge from Step Set Go for the health app that they made. Shivjit.
Hello, sir. And it's a pleasure to have a chance to interact with you directly. As you rightly said, that the digital presence in India is widening and more people are getting used to the internet and using the internet. Sometimes there are so many positives that go along with that, but there is one negative connotation that goes along with having access to everything on your phone. And fitness is the first one that takes a hit when it comes to that aspect. And Step Set Go was born out of that idea, right? Because as we get more and more used to the internet, we will also tend to get more and more, if we won't move as much, right? Just because everything is so easily available for you. So, and that was the idea of Step Set Go, to get people moving every day and create that habit to make sure that we don't kind of go the route of some of the other giant countries that have got access to this and have badly associated. Basically, the health has taken a big hit in that country, right? So we wanted to make sure we don't go into that zone. And that's why what we identified in the market was not enough people actually track their most basic form of fitness. So we wanted to funnel people in to at least get them to start tracking. And obviously, to make sure they stay in the ecosystem, we wanted to make it fun, we wanted to make it social, and we wanted to reward people for those activities. And how we wanted to do that was to try and, as we get more and more people to track their most basic form of fitness, we wanted to create pipes in between the existing ecosystems that are there of different gyms, of different healthy foods, whatever that might be, to make sure that everybody gets that on one platform, as opposed to trying to go out there and trying to take over each and everything and do it yourself. We believe that there are enough people that are doing a good job in their specific field of trying to get people healthy, and we become the source of getting them the Bharat to them, right? And as people are getting more and more used to making payments digitally and all that, it'll be a good platform to make this happen. So essentially, StepSetGo is trying to do that. I want to spend a little bit of time in the way that this event was monitored or managed last time. And the team did a splendid job. And we were quite a few founders coming back with questions almost every day. And the team was very patient with us. They went through it. And it wasn't just about winning the competition. It was also interacting with the jury that came in with so much experience, and the kind of questions that they did ask you kind of made you think about your startup all over again and just kind of explore different routes that you could take in the future. So that was a very interesting thing that came out of just going through the process of this event. And yeah, as everybody else has mentioned, it did give us validity. It validated our concept by making us win the challenge. And obviously, it basically gave us enough visibility, right? And it kind of propelled us to where we are today. So really thank you. We are really appreciative of the government for putting things like Startup India and challenges like this. And if they keep recurring every year.
So thank you, Shivjit, for your insights into StepSetGo. Next, we have Sumit Ghosh and Aditya Kothari from Chingari, whose short video app has become very popular. And in fact, MyGov is one of the users. And we would like them to share their insights with regard to this challenge and how their year has been.
Sure. Hello, sir. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, for inviting us and then having an interaction with you guys. Also, the vision of Chingari was basically to create a platform for a billion Indian creators, give them a digital platform to showcase their skills. And I would say that we are kind of getting there, partly successful so far. And this App Innovation Challenge has been, a great one of the steps toward that. We got some great recognition winning that challenge. In fact, we are a seed-funded company. Post this, we have now raised a Series A. Also gotten one of the big Bollywood actors, Salman Khan, as our investor and brand ambassador. The journey has been great. The idea is to build a global company from India. Build a tech and a platform which will give creators across the globe, not just India, potential to showcase their skills and talent. I think India itself is a great creator economy. I think we haven't seen even the 1% of what India can be in terms of the biggest creator economy globally. So I think, and this space where Chingari is operating in has already attracted a lot of global VC capital. So very interested and excited to build a company in this space. And thank you for all the support and encouragement that you guys have given.
Yeah. So when we started off the challenge, we were around 30 million users. As of today, we are around 75 million plus users. We are one of the fastest organically. I would say 99% of our users have been organic. So it has been a great confidence and trust that has come through the challenge that we had last year. So we are one of the only platforms that's not pulling the users and getting them. In fact, we are taking the platform to them from the. We are catering the tier 2, 3, and 4 market, which is the Bharat market. We have 17 different plus languages today, right from Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, and many more. In fact, when we started off as a short form super app, as a short form video app, but now we have moved on to becoming the super entertainment app, which is we are catering more than just a short form video app that you see videos on Chingari. Moreover, I think it has been a tremendous growth and confidence that we've got from the MyGov team and the challenge that we had last time. In fact, we are actually also working on something. We're also working on creator economy, which what we really see right now is just 2 to 5% of creators making content. But as we all know that it's a massive market and everyone wants to become a creator, but they don't really have skills. So that's something that we're also focusing on, creating an entire skills economy so that people can sort of learn the skills and become creators on our platform as well. So thank you so much for all the boost and the trust that you bestowed on us.
Yeah, thank you, Aditya and Sumit. The next we have Aparamaya Radhakrishna from Ku, the microblogging platform. Aparamaya, we lost him.
Namaskar, sir. Bengalurinda.
Namaste.
Sir, when we participated in the Atmanirbhar App Challenge, we were a 3-month-old product, and we just thought, okay, let's just participate because you never know what happens, right? It'll be a great experience for us to learn. And we actually, won as one of the top 3 social apps. It brought us into the limelight. The Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji mentioned us in his Mann Ki Baat. It's really accelerated our journey. And we're now a microblogging app which gives a voice to every Indian irrespective of language. So that was always our goal, and we're very much on it. We've now grown to not just in India, but we've started in Nigeria as well. They also have local languages, multiple of them. We're now 10 million downloads. We crossed that just yesterday. 8 languages in India, and a community which has the most eminent Indians using our platform to express daily, not just in English, but in multiple languages. India is a country full of languages, and each region is in their own little bubble. And as India, to unite, I think we should be able to break those barriers using technology, and especially with thoughts and opinions. And that's what we are doing. It's great that the government of India is recognizing the tremendous potential of Indian startups, and hopefully some of the apps will also make waves globally. Want to also say that I don't think any other government in the world is doing something like this, where they're celebrating innovation, creation of apps, entrepreneurship to the level that we are here in India. And my very best to all the entrepreneurs who are participating in this year's Amrit Mahotsav App Innovation Challenge. And thank you for all the support, and hopefully Koo will fly very high across the world. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abramyan. So next we have Rohan Verma from MeitY India.
Good evening, sir. It's such a privilege to meet somebody like you who's been there, done that, and is taking the MeitY forward and Digital India forward. We are at MeitY India. I don't think we can express our gratitude enough to Government of India and even the Prime Minister himself for taking upon himself to abolish 200-year-old archaic laws in mapping, and he talked about it in Independence Day. It's unleashed the potential of geospatial and the Indian innovation sector. The challenge was such a big thing for us. Abhishek sir of MyGov started this journey with us when COVID started, and we were publishing COVID vaccine centers, testing and treatment centers. And then he said, put out food and night shelters for migrants on our MeitY India Move app for people to find the nearby ones. And we did that. And then, of course, the challenge kind of also helped us come into limelight because we've created a hyper-local app. It's an indigenous alternative to a foreign mapping app. We've been mapping India since 25 years and down to the house address and building level. Of course, we deal with the big challenge that the operating systems come preloaded with maps and navigation. And it's such a crucial part to their ability to kind of gain data that, with a monopoly on search and browsers, we don't get that exposure that typically non-competitive apps to them get. But I would say it's been exciting to see all the other apps do so well. We provide APIs as well. And so despite those challenges, the business has done well. We've served 5,000 enterprise customers. Our APIs power some of the largest apps in India, where we PhonePe, Paytm, etc. So indirectly, we are able to reach hundreds of millions of apps. And it's been such a pleasure to participate with CoWIN, the CoWIN portal, to show to crores of Indians where the nearby vaccine centers are, to power Umang app, which is the super app, I would say, that reaches out to such a large swath of society for all the government services. And also with ISRO, I think that has been a great partnership this year to kind of help India have a full stack, indigenous stack of Earth observation data, satellite data, ground maps, etc. And also in the oxygen crisis, helping the oxygen tanker companies with GPS and the MeitY India Move app to track those so that it moves smoothly. We've done a lot of innovations in the app, and we'll talk about it in the time to come. and the company has been put in a good stead thanks to you all. So really appreciate it. And with this challenge, we'd love to support other app companies with mapping APIs so that it's a truly Atmanirbhar solution. Thank you so much, and looking forward to your leadership.
Thank you, Rohan. And is it anybody else?
Yes, sir, Zoho.
Okay, good. Then I'll just make a summary statement.
Thank you, Rohan, and thank you for all the support, and wish you the best. We have Sridhar Vembuji joining from Zoho.
Yes. Yeah. First of all, I want to congratulate the Minister Chandrasekhar for your recent appointment, and it's really good to see. As the speaker mentioned, you've been there, done that. You know the startup journey, you know the technology landscape very well. So for you to serve in the government, it's a really boost for the Indian tech sector as a whole. So congratulations, and
thank you.
And thank you for giving me the opportunity. We have continued to do very well during the pandemic, and particularly after the last year's App Innovation Challenge, and we had two categories in which we had won, and that our business in India has taken off in a big way. Our fastest growing market now in the world is India. We used to be primarily known for export, and of course we are very proud of that, but we still want to also make sure that the domestic market, because it's going to be the largest market in the world, as you mentioned, we want to be in a very strong position. I'm very happy to say that we are now getting a lot of traction, and particularly the visibility brought by all this talent last year and all that publicity also gave us a lot of boost in India. And so we are growing very fast in India, and along with it also places like the Middle East, where a lot of the diaspora is very strong. Because we forget, I mean, the Indian diaspora is now also in the decision-making authority for software, IT around the world. So whatever is happening in India very much impacts our success around the world. So it will be very helpful, both India and Middle East. We are seeing tremendous pickup for our applications, and this challenge has given us a big boost. And we are now stepping up, and we are helping other startups. Now we have launched last year a startup initiative to give a 1-year free subscription for our suite to startups, and that has also gone very well. We have a lot of startups we have onboarded within India. So I want to thank the ministry, and thank you personally for this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Before I just hand it over to Abhishek and he does the winding up ceremony, I just want to just say this one thing to all of you who have won and who have succeeded since last year, and to others who are obviously watching and who want to participate this year. Our objective is to not just bootstrap those who want to do an app, and we have done that with these app challenges, but we want to be there hand-holding this whole process as much as we can. Obviously, there are limits to what we can do as MeitY, but as, for example, Rohan mentioned about bundle apps and so on and so forth, if there is something that we can do to continuously help you grow, it is something that we would be happy to engage with and discuss with you, not today, but tomorrow, day after, on an ongoing basis. We are invested as much as you are invested, or maybe a little less than what you are invested in terms of seeing your success. And so this is not just about a one-off, once-a-year event, as much as it is a trigger to grow and sustainably grow and rapidly grow and create a momentum amongst your peers and other people who watch you, because we can only make other people do what you're doing if you are successful. And therefore, we want to work with you and ensure that your success in the medium term and long term is assured. I really want to thank you. This is, it's always inspiring when I meet people who have built things on their own. And needless to say, I am inspired again today. And I wish you all the best. And I commit that we as a ministry will be available to you to whatever support we can give you. And to all of those who are witnesses today to these stories and who want to participate, I encourage you to do so and join the movement. Over to you, Abhishek.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, and thank you for your time, and thank you all the participants who have joined today in this interaction, all the founders of the winners of last year, and all those who are live with us, but who, for want of time, we could not interact with you. You have been our partners, and we look forward to working with you in the days to come. So we also have lots of people, lots of startups from the Startup India, from Invest India. We have participants from AICT, engineering colleges, who have joined on this webinar. And they all have been our partners last year in this contest and many other innovation challenges that MeitY runs. I am thankful to our Honorable Minister for launching this program and the launch of the e-book for the MeitY's achievements. And over the next 1 month, when this period is, when the innovation challenge is open, we look forward to getting entries from across the country. So we request everyone present here to share it in your groups so that we get more and more entries. The best startups compete, and the best solutions, best apps get identified through this. We are also thankful to our jury members of the last year who have joined us from various places, from industry, from academia, from government, who have been part of us. We are extremely thankful to you. We are thankful to our additional secretary, Dr. Rajendra Kumar, who has been always guiding us with, in every endeavor that we take. Simi Chaudhary, who is our colleague in MeitY, who has been part of the Amrit Mahotsav initiative. Our team at NEGD, Vinay Thakur, BK Murthy is also here today, and other GCs have joined in virtually in this. A team from NEGD, Barnali, Jay, Shilu, under the leadership of Vinay, who have been supporting this. We did have some minor technical glitches today, where you will definitely try to ensure that it doesn't occur in our future events. And I'm also thankful to my entire MyGov team, who is working hand in hand with the NEGD team for making this event successful. Today is just the launch. The next 1 month we'll be coming up with more outreach activities in order to ensure that we reach out to every city, every engineering college, every entrepreneur, and ensure that this platform gives the wings to their dreams, and we are able to celebrate their successes in playing a minor role in trying to provide a platform for showcasing their achievements. Ultimately, it's the achievement of the startups and the techies who put in their hard work in that. But yes, MeitY will be there, as the Honourable Minister said, as your partner to handhold you in any way, which way is possible. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining this evening.